stop and say that I had said in earlier videos what my reading plans were, and those have changed. So the first thing is I had said that I was going to, on this vacation, start the Love Songs of W.E. Du Bois as part of March of the Mammoths. And I have decided to opt out of March of the Mammoths and save that one for the summer, for Big Book Summer. Shortly before vacation, library hold came in for The Likeness by Tana French. That book is long. I looked it up. It says it's like 466 pages, but it's like I read and read and read, and I've gone like 3% more in it. So if anyone has a copy of that book, can you look and see if like the print is like minuscule or something? Because this feels like a really long book. Not feels in that it's dragging. It's just like I read for 2 hours and I have like gone 5% the book. So that I needed to take that hold, because if I didn't get the hold in, it would be another long period of time before it came back. So that is taking up more time. So no Love Songs of W.E. Du Bois until the summer. And then I had said that I was going to read this one before. I was going to read this for vacation. And then Caitlin and Vandy's book said it's really depressing. Don't read it for vacation. So I said, okay, I'll read it before vacation, because this is set down here in Tucson, and I wanted some kind of like, you know, local reading, so because that'd be fun. I said, okay, so I said I'll read it before vacation, but I didn't finish. So I'm still reading this. And then for my vacation sort of print read, I decided to bring Weyward. This just seemed like a really kind of fun book to read, fun and enjoyable. So yeah, those are my print books. So I do have The Likeness going. Depending on when I finish that, my next book is either going to be the next Donna Leon, because I have not yet read my Donna Leon for this month, or it's going to be I think As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. That's my next book club book, so I need to get that one done too. So it just kind of depends on how long The Likeness is going to take me, which apparently it's going to take me a long time, because it is. It's good though. I'm enjoying it. I don't think I'm enjoying it as, I mean, this is hard to say, because I think so far as where I am in the book, I enjoyed In the Woods more, but you know, there were some issues with the ends of In the Woods. So it all kind of hangs on the end with this kind of book. But as far as I am in the book now, I think I'm enjoying In the Woods more, just because I'm getting a little frustrated with Cassie, who's the main character, making like, she's undercover and then she'll make these discoveries, but she won't tell the rest of her team for reasons that I don't understand. And so, and that's a little frustrating for me as a reader. I'm like, just tell them, you're all in this together, tell them. So yeah, but you know, I'm like halfway through the book, because I've been reading it forever and I'm only halfway through. So we'll see how that one turns out. I think with Tana French, you can't really make a call until you're all done. So we'll see. But it's going to be a really nice day here. We have not hit looking at the weather forecast, we did not hit the weather jackpot on this trip. Today and tomorrow are going to be nice, and it's going to be cooler for a couple days, and then it'll be nice, and then it'll be cooler. So we're trying to plan kind of what we're doing, kind of a little bit around the weather. And I think this afternoon, we're going to go to the Sonoran Desert Museum. We do that every year. I'm hoping it's not too crowded. I mean, it's going to be crowded whenever we go. It's always crowded. But we're trying to do our outdoor things on days when we know it's going to be nicer, and our more indoor things on days where it's not going to be nice. So we'll do the biosphere on a not nice day, because that's the whole point of the biosphere. It's inside. We'll do if we decide to do the Arizona Science Museum, the University of Arizona Science Museum, we'll do, okay, there's some buzzing here. We will do that on a not nice day. I don't know if we're going to do that. It hasn't changed that much. Like, we went last year and the time before, which might have been a couple years in between. I can't remember. Like with COVID, I can't remember how that worked out. But nothing really changed between those two times, so I don't know if it's worth our time to go back to it this time. However, there's another museum. I have to check into that. So yeah, we'll see. We're figuring things out, and we always take a couple like down days, so we'll see. My husband has put my kids to work, like pulling weeds in my father's yard. My father always had an immaculate yard, just always. But you know, he's 85 years old, so it's hard now. And so yesterday, while I was getting stuff ready for dinner, my husband had the kids out picking weeds, which I was like, yes, I will just stay inside and work, and you guys can do this. Anyway, my breakfast should be ready. My husband's making me breakfast, so I'm gonna go now. See you next time.
Where's his head? The bowl? Way back there. Oh, it's cute. How much was that one? Oh, it's
Look.
The tail is right down in the front there. Kind of hiding in there.
Oh, two. It's actually two.
oh, it's coming in. It's so
Hello. Today is Sunday the 24th. I'm inside today because it's cold and windy here. Like it's currently only 55 degrees outside. That's not what I came to Arizona for, but whatever. So we aren't going to be doing any kind of like outside stuff today because of the wind. I think what we're going to do, the other thing is that some of the stuff that we do like to do around here that's indoor, some places we like to go, they're closed on Sundays. So I think we are going to just kind of have a quiet day, maybe go for a drive around and see what's going on. So you might get more footage from me or not. I know you'll be seeing this later, but if you saw my community post yesterday, we got some really bad news, but it wasn't unexpected, unfortunately. So yeah, anyway, hopefully I'm about ready to kind of settle down on the couch and maybe get some reading done, because I haven't gotten that much reading done since I've been here, just because we're doing things. And also my father doesn't ever wear his hearing aids. So there's always a TV going on as loud as possible. And it's March Madness, so like he's watching basketball too on top of this, and then like kids come in and they watch their show and they turn it up, so it's really loud. And if you can kind of hear, it's really echoey in this house. So reading has been hard. I did have a little freak out because I couldn't find my AirPods anywhere, and I was afraid that they had fallen out of my purse on the plane, but I was able to track them on my phone. And fortunately, I just left them at home. Not great, but you know, they're at home, it's fine. I do have my noise canceling headphones with me if I need to block out the world, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll see if I have any footage for you today. I'm, as I said, not entirely sure what today holds, but we'll see. We are heading up into Madeira Canyon. There's lots of hiking and such here. I think we're just gonna drive around today. It's still, oops, don't hit that person. It's still pretty chilly, so we're just kind of out for a nice drive today. The top of Madeira Canyon. Kind of nice view there. I don't know if you can see it in the video. But yeah, we're just kind of parked here. Going around here now. Pat and I once took this hike all the way up to there. It was quite a hike. We were a lot younger. We're not doing that this time. But there you go. There's lots of hiking here in Madeira Canyon. There's a lot of deer here. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a lot of deer here. We're just coming out of Madeira Canyon.
There's 4 of there, and then 3.
Yeah, 3 just crossed the road in front of us, but I didn't have the camera in the right setting. Good morning. It's Monday the 25th. I'm going to try and move this just a bit without it tipping over. The tripod function on this selfie stick is not the greatest, but whatever. Light also probably not the best angle, but I wanted to get a different view. I am outside today. It is not as windy. It is, however, 48 degrees. So hence the fleece. We are going to go to the biosphere today, which is really fun. We went for the first time last year. I've been wanting to go for years. And my husband's like, no, we don't want to go. Kids won't like it, blah, blah, blah. Finally, last year he caved, and like he loved it more than anybody else. So now that's like our favorite place to go. So we're gonna go that's like north of Tucson in Oracle. It's part of the University of Arizona. So we're gonna go do that. And because the weather's not super great today, we might hit some of the University of Arizona museums as well. We'll see. We'll just see how the day goes. We have tickets for today for the biosphere. That's the only guaranteed thing. But yeah, so there'll be some more video today. As for books, I finished My Side of the River. I love this book. I already put up a little Bookstagram thing. I remembered I have Bookstagram. I've been really active on Threads, but ignoring Bookstagram. But anyway, did really like this. There was something at the end that hit a little close to home for me for right now, but you know, whatever. Highly recommend it. My plan had been to leave this book here and sort of the basket in the guest bedroom, but I've decided I don't want to part with it, so it's going back home with me. So then today, I'm still reading The Likeness, still reading it. I don't know if I'm ever finishing that book. And it's not that it's a bad book, it's just that the book is super long. Excuse me. Yeah, according to Goodreads, it's 466 pages. I have a hard time believing it because I think I read In the Woods faster, and In the Woods was over 600, I believe. So I don't know what's up with that book. But anyway, still reading that. And then I will be starting Weyward by Emilia Hart, which was like my planned vacation print read. So we might, if I can work it out, we might visit some bookstores today. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. I've never actually made it work, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's what's going on for today. It is, as I said, going to be cool today. Tomorrow, though, it's going to start warming up. So we have a couple warm days and then a couple more cool days, a couple warm days, and then we go home. So I'm not complaining about the weather because I found out that it has actually made things a little bit easier for us because it's limited our choices of what we do every day because there's outdoor things and indoor things. So you're going to fall into one of those two categories, which means we as a family, when we decide what we want to do each day, we only have to choose from half as many things. So that's nice. The other great thing, and this really started last year, but it's continued, is before when we'd come up, the kids were very reluctant to go out and do things. They would get tired a lot, and it was very much like dragging them. But they're now really into going out and doing things. So every day they want to go do something. So that has been really fun. And the biosphere is the one thing that they specifically said they wanted to do this year. So we're going to do that. We've only been to one of the University of Arizona museums, which is the Flanders Science Museum. Michael Clark told me there were other ones, so I went and looked it up, and there are other ones. There's an anthropological one that's about indigenous cultures that I want to go to and the kids are interested in. My husband, not so much. There's a rock and mineral one, which my husband's all about. The kid's like, I'm not that interested in, so, you know, we kind of have to work it out. We've never done the Tucson Presidio, so we may do that this trip. More importantly though, yes, 2 days ago, when we were driving back, we went by a street called Fort Lowell, and my husband's like, is there a fort on there? Is there a Fort Lowell on Fort Lowell? So I looked it up, and there was a Fort Lowell, and there is a little museum there, and it is run by the Tucson Presidio. So it wasn't open the day we went. It's only open like Thursday through Saturday, but we are planning to go to that later this week too, because we're kind of at the point now we're trying to find a lot of new things to do because we have been coming here every year and we've done a lot. So anyway, that's what's going on. Yeah, I think as soon as everyone's dressed, we're going to head out. So I'm going to end this now, and you will see lots of biosphere stuff and maybe some other stuff today. Bye. Okay, I know I'm a little crooked, but I'm not gonna mess with it because this tripod is not very steady. It's Tuesday, the 26th. If you can sit here, I sound a little raspy. One thing about Arizona is I'm allergic to it. And I started by taking Zyrtec before the day we left. So I've been taking Zyrtec every day, but Zyrtec does not last 24 hours. I found out. So last night was a tough night. Oof, let me tell you. But I got some Zyrtec. I have my lukewarm coffee. At home, I have a little mug warmer thing. I apparently drink coffee really slowly, so I don't finish it. Yesterday, as you saw, we went to Biosphere, and then we stopped at San Javier Mission, which we love. We go there all the time. The last few years, so we're never there at like the best time because of spring break. We're usually here during Holy Week or during Lent. So it's not the best time to go, but it's still nice. And they have finished their restoration. So it's just gorgeous inside. But it was nice to stop there. And then I got my fry bread. I have to get my fry bread. And fry bread only counts if you get it from those who know, from, an indigenous person. They make great fry bread. Today, our original plan was to go to the University of Arizona museums, but we thought, do we really want to do that? And we decided, because we were going to do it yesterday, and then I realized none of them were open on Monday. And then today we're like, well, we don't really feel like that. So we're kind of taking my son's making noise. I told him he couldn't turn on SpongeBob until I was done doing this video. We decided we're going to just kind of take a quiet morning at home. So I'm going to do some reading and stuff like that. And then this afternoon, we're going to go to Tumacacori National Historic Site, which is not far from here. It's an old mission. It's ruins now, but it's pretty cool. And we go there every time. It obviously doesn't change much, but we like going there. And they have, so you can go walk the mission. And then the University of Arizona, the Department of Agriculture has like taken over their little orchard that they try to recreate the orchard. So they have a lot of the things that they were growing there in the 17th and 18th centuries. There's a quince tree. Still have never had a quince in my life. I'm not sure if I really need to have a quince, but I'm just saying I've never had a quince. But they have a lot of those trees. And then you can walk a little bit further to the Anza River that runs behind it, which we did last year, but it was really muddy. My shoes are still coated in mud. I have a pair of shoes that I leave here, and they are still coated in mud from that walk out there. We'll probably try that walk again. We had a little bit of rain yesterday, not a lot. Last year, they had really weird weather here. They had like snow right before we got here. So things were really muddy. We'll see what it looks like. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. So I did start Weyward yesterday. And I think I'm going to, this isn't going to be a book that totally changes my life. And it's a book that we'll probably leave here in the basket in the guest bedroom. That's fine. But it's enjoyable. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm still keeping up with my Limbs of Operate reading. I am almost done with the section where he recreates the Battle of Waterloo, which is in one way boring, but in another way, at least he does it with excitement. So, I'm not really sure how it fits in with the rest of the story, because this is after the Battle of Waterloo, and I think Victor Hugo had a man crush on Napoleon Bonaparte. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I'm still reading that, and then I am still reading The Likeness. I am going to finish it within the next 6 days, though, because in 6 days, my library loan goes poof. So I have to finish it in 6 days. I have been reading it since my library loan started. Again, I read it for an hour last night, and I'm like, I went 3%. 3%. And again, not a bad book. It's not like it's dragging. It's just... They lie. They lie when they say this is a 466-page book, because it's maybe 1,466 pages at the rate I'm going. But, oh well. So you'll see stuff from Tumacacori today. And yeah, I am in the kitchen. It's a little cold and a little bit windy. It was windy last night, but it's a little bit windy. And then I think I'm going to go put some headphones on, because as soon as I finish this, my son's going to start watching SpongeBob. I'm so sick of SpongeBob. He watches SpongeBob until 7, and then all of a sudden he wants to watch Friends. It's so weird. But anyway, I'm going to end this now, and you should be seeing some Tumacacori after this. This is their storehouse. You have to stay off the steps.
Stay off the steps.
Yes, thank you, Chris. So obviously there would have been a roof. And this is where they stored all their food. And this is the chapel where they did funerals? Maybe baptisms, maybe both, I don't know. Normally we go to the Anza River. This is over there. Or maybe it's over here. Maybe it decided to come to us this time. But last year I nearly face planted in a mud puddle, so we're not gonna risk it again this year. A lot of the saints from this church were moved to San Javier, but these are ones that they still have here. You have Saint Cajetan, Saint Bonaventure, Saint Francis of Assisi. This is what the mission looked like in its day. And there's some music. Over here, we have Saint Anthony of Padua, Saint Peter of Aliantra, and Jesus. There's a parrot or something. Up in the orange tree.
There's one right above us.
Oh, look at that.
What's that though? That.
That is an ibis. We looked that one up.
The one above us is loud.
And there it is, my favorite animal at the zoo, the capybara. It's the one thing I want to see every time we come. There's also a very pretty swan. Right there. Here's an anteater. This is my husband's favorite animal here.
Oh. You need to live with the anteater, lamb.
It's another bird. Some red birds and a flamingo. It looks like a flamingo up on a tree, which is not where I'd expect to see a flamingo. Still stand on one leg. But there you go. They stand corrected. That's a spoonbill. A spoonbill. That's not a roseate spoonbill. It's not a flamingo. My husband was right. I was wrong. It's on the record now. They're out there somewhere. We may not see them, but we hear them. One of the things I like about this park is that it almost feels prehistoric driving through with all the cactus and such. This is the east one, and I like this one. I think it's prettier than the other one, but also it's paved, which makes it a much smoother ride. Hello, it is Thursday, the 28th of March. It's the evening. So, developments. Yesterday I didn't have much of a voice because allergies were bad and I have been yelling because my father won't wear his hearing aids. Nothing new really to report as far as reading. Today we didn't do anything because my daughter wasn't feeling very well, so we decided to just stay home. And she ended up sleeping for like 5 hours. And then she just was really not feeling well when she woke up. So I sent my husband out because my daughter cannot swallow pills. It's a whole thing, to go get some like liquid or chewable pills she could take.
And while she was out, I said, let's just take a COVID test. Guess what? She has COVID. And not only that, I have COVID and my husband has COVID. My son does not have COVID.
Yay!
He's over there. My son does not get sick. Even the time when we had COVID before and he brought it home, we all got sick, he like just lived his best life playing video games the entire time. He's coughed twice and sneezed once. So things are up in the air now as far as our vacation. Fortunately, my father is, as of now, negative. So it's a big enough house we can kind of stay away. And my son, because he's negative, is kind of our go-between. I don't know, I might go to urgent care tomorrow and see if I can get some Paxlovid. My husband is on some medication, so he can't take it. But, you know what my son is doing. But anyway, I feel fine. I don't think I have any symptoms because I think I legitimately have allergies. I don't feel sick. The only really COVID symptom I know I have is I don't have a sense of smell all of a sudden. I can't smell vinegar. That's my test. But otherwise I feel fine. I don't feel sick at all. I just feel like I have allergies, and I know I had allergies at the beginning of this trip. So I don't know what this means. I have messaged the cat sitter to see if she's available to keep watching my cat a few more days. And we're gonna make a call on Saturday if we're gonna keep our Monday flight home or if we need to stay down here a little bit longer. I have a feeling we're probably gonna have to stay a little bit longer, but whatever. This is not the way we wanted our vacation to go, but that's what happens. On the upside, I have lots of reading time now because we're not going anywhere. So yeah, that is what I have. I have no footage for you today because we can go anywhere except to the store. My husband and I went once to get Kleenex for my daughter, and then he went again to get medicine. And yeah, I don't think we're going anywhere tomorrow.
That's probably where you caught the COVID.
I don't know where I caught COVID. This is Arizona. I mean, it's a red state. So, you know. Anyhow, the reason I'm not wearing glasses is because I still have not figured out how to do the glasses and the mask at the same time. So, yeah, I took my glasses off for that. But, you know, we've got a system, like everyone wears a mask except for me when I'm doing this video, except when we're eating. And we try to stay away from my dad. If we need to get a hold of my dad, we send my son. He's our go-between. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I will probably continue to do reading updates. As for when I'm going to publish this, maybe I'll try to publish it just straight from my phone. I don't know if I can do that or not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might be able to just publish it from my phone and then I'll put it up Tuesday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's like not the biggest problem in my life right now, honestly. So anyway, just so you know, that's what's going on. Hello. It is Saturday, the 30th March. Dishwasher's going, because that's a weird noise. Yes, I'm still in my father's kitchen. Yesterday, I posted the picture of me on my community page saying, plot twist. I'm gonna turn this just a little bit. There we go. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. The last time we spoke, my daughter, my husband, and I all tested positive for COVID. My son, who has the immune system of a 5-foot thick brick wall, did not. He is currently locked in his bedroom with his Kindle watching YouTube and living his best life. My father, who's 85 years old and has COPD and a bunch of other stuff, also did not test positive, but I didn't believe that. That was Thursday. Friday morning at 4 a.m., I heard something, so I got up to see what it was, and my dad's dog, Alfie, was kind of, he was like nervous. You could tell he was kind of circling, and he's not that kind of dog. So I look in, and my father's fallen out of bed, and I can't get him up. So I call my husband, and I know, I roll with a lot of stuff with my husband, but I love my husband dearly. He is an angel. He got my father up. I called the paramedics, because I could just tell this was not good. And the paramedics and the ambulance came. In the meantime, my husband, it's a bad situation. And my father is not in good shape, and they hook, paramedics come with all the things to run the test. So none of the test result things like blood pressure, heart rate, all of that, none of that was good. Then we argued with my father for 30, 45 minutes on whether or not he should go to the hospital. There were 7 people in the room saying he should, and then him saying he shouldn't. Finally convinced him to go to the hospital. He was not happy about it, but whatever. So they took him to the VA hospital in Tucson. My husband and I followed. We sat in the waiting room for like probably 2.5 hours before we could go in and see him. Yes, he had COVID. Excuse me. Just so you know, my COVID line is very faint now. I'm almost over it. It's almost gone. These are just allergies that I had before anything. So my father did have COVID. He also had, well, and the thing is the doctors and the nurses like didn't seem at all concerned about the COVID, like at all. They didn't seem concerned. But he did have a really severe UTI. And so the call was made to keep him in the hospital. And he's still there. So that was Friday. It's Saturday now. He is doing great. They've given him, he can't take any of the antivirals for the COVID, but they gave him some steroid shots, and he's breathing better than he has the entire time we've been here, excuse me. And my father has a lot of breathing problems. So this is like a silver lining thing. He made an appointment to go in and get his breathing stuff checked out. Couldn't make an appointment. This was the beginning of the year. Couldn't get an appointment until May. Well, now they have to do all that stuff because he's in the hospital. So that's a good thing. And he's always had like a lot of UTIs, and so they're trying to figure out why he keeps having them. So it's a good thing he's in the hospital. But he's in a good mood. I have to suit up. You saw the picture. That's what I look like when I go see him, and he thinks that's hilarious. But we're hoping he'll be out today, Saturday, tomorrow, which is Easter, or Monday. We have to leave on Tuesday. We are renting a car and we are driving home. At first we thought we could do it in like 2 days. We're gonna take 3 days to do it. At this time of year, you really have to check with the weather, especially over mountain passes. So we've decided to go Tucson, Barstow, Redding, Portland. That's how we're gonna do that. And I was really fortunate. We do fly Southwest, and this is my traveler's tip, by the way. If you fly Southwest at least once a year, and you kind of know you're going to fly it at least once a year, and you are enrolled in their frequent flyer program, and I understand this is a privilege and not a lot of people have this, but if the initial outlay of money is not an issue, so it's not like you have to like get the cheapest flight because that's the money you have on hand, but you can maybe do a little bit more. And I will also say the most expensive ticket on Southwest is still a heck of a lot cheaper than the cheapest ticket on any other airline. If you can do that, it doesn't matter what ticket you get with Southwest because of the way they've structured their rewards program. In fact, you're probably better off buying your business class ticket because, I mean, really, what does business class get you on Southwest? You get a board earlier, you get a drink coupon, woohoo. Neither my husband nor I drink that much, and we certainly don't drink at 7 in the morning, which is usually when we're flying. But you also get like triple the frequent flyer miles. So it works out that you're actually getting a better value if you buy the more expensive ticket with them, as long as you have you're in the frequent flyer program. So we did that, and we were very lucky because it was super easy just to refund and get our tickets back. But that's what's going on with this vacation. So our vacation's turning into a road trip, which we had not planned. And it's not gonna be a very interesting road trip. We're doing basically up to, once we get to Bakersfield, we're gonna swing over to I-5 and just go I-5 straight up. It'll take us all the way up to Portland. And not the most exciting, we're not stopping anywhere. I mean, I honestly think I'm gonna get a negative test tomorrow or the next day. My positive line was very faint. My son is still negative. My daughter is still very COVID-y. She took a test and it was boom, right there. I haven't tested my husband, but there's still gonna be COVID. And so we're not stopping anywhere. We're gonna get like drive-through food. We have this all down. And so I'll try and do some videos. It's not gonna be very interesting, but there you go. So let me talk about books. people, I finished The Likeness by Tana French. Finally, and I got pretty close to finishing it while I was waiting in the waiting room at the VA, by the way. I want to kind of reiterate and clarify things that I have said in the past about this book, because I kept saying, oh, seems like it's going so slow. I just want to be really clear about why I was saying that. I looked up how long this book was when I started reading it, so I could kind of figure out how long it was going to take me to read. And Goodreads said it was like 466 pages. I know about how long 466 pages is going to take me and how much, you know, percentage-wise I get done in a certain amount of time. I've been reading enough to know this and reading enough on an e-reader to know this. But that was not the case that was happening when I was reading this. I'd read for an hour and I would have only gone 3%, which was very strange. If I had never looked up on Goodreads how long the likeness was, none of this would have been an issue. I just want to be clear that my complaints about it were not because the book was dragging. It's because I was, the expectation of progress that I had because of Goodreads, we'll just put all the blame on Goodreads. The expectation of progress based on what Goodreads told me wasn't happening. And that's fine. It has nothing to do with the book. I did actually really enjoy this book. A little aggravating at times. The main character, you know how I feel about like when main characters keep making the same stupid mistake over and over again. There's a little bit of that in this. Not as much. And there's also repercussions for that happening. What really bugs me is when that happens and then there are no repercussions. There were repercussions for it. I totally realized that I'm not even looking at you guys. I need to remember to look over here, sorry. So it didn't bother me as much as it does in some books. But Tana French, this book has convinced me to read on with Tana French, because if you saw my video I did a while ago about In the Woods, it was like, I'm gonna give her one more try, but we're gonna see, because I had issues with the end of In the Woods that I'm not gonna get into because they would be spoilery, but there is a video with a spoiler section if you wanna go see what I thought. That was not an issue. I think this ended up very well. And if you're someone who really hated the end of it, like loved In the Woods up until the very end and then hated it, because a lot of people in those comments, Tana French is very divisive for reasons. A lot of people in the comments of that video and things I've said have said that, like, they loved it up until the end and the end just made them really angry and they're never reading Tana French again. I will tell you, give Tana French, if that was your experience and you're open to it, you might want to read this book, because the ending is a lot better. I mean, it is more successful. It feels a little more natural. It doesn't feel like she pulled one over on you. There are things in this book that I found a little infuriating, but I also kind of feel like I was supposed to be infuriated by them. Tana French is really good at creating characters, and these very interesting characters and very interesting dynamics between the characters, which I really appreciated. There is and this is not a spoiler, but there's a setup that you have to be able to take. You have to be able to accept the setup to go on with the book. And it's basically a doppelganger story. You have to be able to either believe that doppelgangers are a thing or suspend your disbelief about doppelgangers, because this book is based on the doppelganger situation. Cassie Maddox, who is the main character in this book, had previously worked undercover. This is before the book happens, and she was doing some kind of, it's not really important, a drug deal or something, but her character undercover was a character named Lexi something, I can't remember, also not important, Lexi, the character's name. And then what happens is, this is some years later, this is when the book picks up, she gets a call to come out to a murder scene. She's currently not working in murder anymore, she's working in domestic violence, and she gets called out to a murder scene, and they go and they find the body, and the not only is the name of the murder victim Lexi, whatever her name was, but it looks exactly like her, like exactly. So you have to be able to kind of accept that. And I can understand, because I'm not really sure about doppelgangers, but if this is not something that works for you, this book's not going to work for you. Just there you go. But I really enjoyed it, and now I am actually really interested in reading more in the series. I actually do own the third book in the series, so I will get to that at some point soon. I'm still working on Weyward. Actually, I'm probably gonna go finish it once I finish this video. Allergies. I'm gonna leave my copy of Weyward here in the guest room for other people. It's just an enjoyable story, but it's not probably one that's gonna stick with me too much. It is I don't know if it's really generational, but it's a triple timeline. So there's a character in the 17th century, there's a character in 1940s, and there's a character in 2009, I think, and they are related. They're like in the same line, and and go through each of their experiences. I find it a little that they all are having like pretty much the same experience. I wish there was more variety in their individual experiences. I guess the argument could be made that that's the point, that they keep going through the same thing, but I think that you can go through the same thing without going through the same thing, if that makes any sense. So that's a little, but I'm enjoying it. It's very readable. It's a very quick read. Yeah, it's fine. It's a good, fine vacation read. That's what I would say about it. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. As for what I'm going to start, my next book on my e-reader will be As Long as the Lemon Trees Go. I think that's the title. That's the next book for my marginalized book club. Not the library one, the other one. My library one is doing Ducks by Kate Beaton, which is a graphic novel. I do have it out of the library at home. I didn't bring it with me because I don't bring library books with me, print library books, but it's a graphic novel, so it's not gonna take me that long to get through. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna have time because I was planning to be home on Monday and now I'm not gonna be home until Thursday. So we'll see if I make it to that one. I will still read it. I just don't know if I'm gonna have it done in time for a book club. And then, but yeah, I'm gonna read As Long as the Lemon Trees Go. And then after that, I'm going to be reading Ithaca. I think that's by Jennifer Saint. I can't look it up because it's on my phone and I'm recording on my phone. It's a library book that came in. The way I've decided to do my ebooks is I have a ton of library holds because I have 3 library cards. As of now, there's gonna be more. And basically what I do is I can only, once I start reading one of my own books, then I can accept the first hold that comes in. And then after that, I have to delay all the other holds, do deliver later, so I finish the book I'm reading, my own book that I'm reading. I read the library book I've just checked out, and then when I get back to my own book, then I can read, and I can take the next hold in. So it's just a way for me to make sure I read my own ebooks, but I make things overly complicated. So anyway, that's what I'm reading. I don't know what kind of footage you're gonna get from now on, but hey, it's, this is a vacation that we will not forget. There you go. I am hoping my dad will be home from the hospital tomorrow, maybe Monday. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you now and I'm gonna go finish reading Weyward. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, I don't have my tripod, so this is gonna be wiggly. Sorry about that. It is April 1st. I refuse to, I do not recognize April Fool's Day. That is not a holiday that I recognize. It is the 1st of April. I look like I'm tired. We're getting ready to pack. We got a rental car. My father's home from the hospital. He came home on Easter in the kitchen. So he's doing well, but he needs to rest. And he's not gonna rest while we're here. So we're gonna head home. We're driving home. I'm gonna do it over 3 days. So the tentative plan is by tomorrow night we'll be in Barstow. We're gonna cut through Joshua Tree. We weren't gonna do any touristy things, but then I'm like, look, we go right by a national park. So we're gonna cut through Joshua Tree, and go to Barstow, and then we're planning to spend this second night in Reading. That may change, we'll see. My husband's a little concerned about the pass on I-5. Piece of advice, if you're ever looking for the driving conditions on the pass on I-5, do not Google road conditions for weed. Weed, California is the pass. Road conditions for weed, because you will not get the answer you want. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of like the end of our vacation. Well, no, it's not. We still have our road trip home. As far as the family, my father is home. He's doing well. I've hit the COVID. I am in the COVID negative group. So I've gotten past that. My son never got it. My husband and daughter still have it, but they're feeling a lot better. So that's good. And then book-wise, I finished Weyward. And pretty much what I said about it before holds. I liked it. I think my husband might be... Oh, my daughter's coming out of the bathroom. What I said holds. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's not going to stick with me. My biggest problem with it is... So it's told in 3 timelines, and it alternates between the 3 timelines, right? So there's 1619, the 40s, like 1941 or something, and 2019. I thought it was 2009. It's 2019. And that's fine. I think it would have worked better if it had told each story and just gone to the next story. Like told the whole first story and then go to the next time. Oh my, I was getting tired. The next time and go to that. Because when you got to the end of the book and you have the momentum going in one story, but the momentum when the other stories don't match it, you lose that forward motion when you switch between stories. And I found that very frustrating. But other than that, it was a nice story. It was enjoyable. It was a great vacation read. I forgot to mention, I am listening to an audiobook. I'm listening to Such a Quiet Place by, is it Megan Miranda? Domestic thriller. Domestic thrillers, I have learned, work really well for me on audio because they don't require that much brain power, but they also kind of suck you in. So I've been listening to that. We may start an audiobook in the car. I downloaded The Wager because I thought it might be something everybody in our family likes. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on. My arm's getting really tired, so I'm going to stop, but you'll probably see me again because we'll have more video. We might have some video from Joshua Tree. We'll see. Anyway, I gotta take a shower so I can do the final load of laundry so I can go to bed. Talk to y'all later. Bye. We found some actual wildlife here, somewhere between Merced and Modesto. Either that or we found a real life game of whack-a-mole. Where'd it go? Is it come back? No, it's a little camera shot. We made it to I-5. We're just north of Davis. Saw the exit for, oops, sorry, my buzzer. Saw the exit for UC Davis. I pointed out it's a good school. I pointed that out to my daughter. She had her headphones on, so I don't even think she heard. But yeah, we're just stopping, stretching our legs, and we'll be home tomorrow at some point. Hopefully we won't have a huge rush to get home. We had to rush this morning. My husband wanted to avoid all rush hours, so we had to rush to get out of the hotel. I don't think we're gonna have a rush tomorrow, but we'll see. We're heading into Weed, California, the top of the pass. No snow falling, but clearly there is still snow on the ground, but the roads are clear, so we're all good. Trucks are driving well. We're driving well. No one's being an idiot, so all is good. Oregon, we made it to Oregon. And there's some snow. We're back. God's country, Oregon. Not that California's bad. We like California. We have respect for California. But we're Oregonians. We are back in our state. Beautiful, rainy Portland, Oregon. I'm going to tape this again without my husband swearing in the background. And we're in rush hour traffic. Home from the airport, dropped off the rental car, picked up our car, heading to Hillsboro. Hello. Yes, I look like crap, but I am back in Boring Corner. We are home. We just got home. We got home a little while ago. The cat apparently had the time of her life with the pet sitter and was really mad at us for coming back. One sec. Lily, put that paper bag in the fridge. Sorry, I bought some blue cheese from the Rogue Creamery, and I just realized what needs to go in the fridge. So I got my daughter to chew that for me. But we're home. Instead of having a week vacation, we had 2 weeks vacation. We are all COVID negative, so that's good. It's Thursday. I am going to send my son back to school tomorrow, but I'm not going to send my daughter back. They are actually excused for the week, but Lily has like some sinus stuff left over from COVID. She's COVID negative, but she has like a sinus thing because of it, and she hasn't been sleeping well, so I'm giving her another day at home. Chris, of course, is perfectly fine, so he's going to school. So yes, so we're home. Bad news is my father's back in the hospital.
He apparently, on top of having COVID, also has pneumonia and the flu. I'm not sure how he managed that, but he's got all three. But I made him promise not to check himself out of the hospital against medical advice. So hopefully he'll get this taken care of by now. Anyway, as far as reading, I think I've caught you up on everything except on the drive up, we listened to The Wager by David Grann, the audiobook, narrated by Dion Graham. I think that might be the first time I've heard Dion Graham, and he is freaking fantastic. Let me tell you, he's a fantastic narrator. It was really fun. It was like a fun adventure story. It was really interesting because I posted on Threads, like, is this going to be something that's appropriate for kids, for my teenagers? And everyone's like, well, it's really boring. I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was pretty interesting. So yeah, we did that. We'll add that one to it too. I am actually a standby I wasn't going to do the booktube prize this round. And then I got an email saying they needed judges. So I said, fine, I put myself in. But then I wasn't selected. So now I'm standby, which is fine. It's all good. But the wager is still in the running for the booktube prize. So if in the future I get the wager, at least I have that one taken care of. But it was a really fun book. I'll talk a little bit more about it in my wrap up. My thing is, I had an issue with it, which I can't talk about because it's a complete spoiler. But anyway, I'll talk about that later. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now because this is like a spring break we will never forget, and not for good reasons. So it's about an hour long. If you made it, woohoo, you get a gold star. You get a gold star. Thank you. And so this is Thursday night. I'm going to go to bed soon, get some sleep. And then I'm going to have this go up on Saturday in place of like my weekly wrap up. On Tuesday, I'm going to put out my booktube prize octafinals vlog. And in there I said I was going to do a standalone review of one of those books, which I have recorded, but I have not edited. So that may or may not come out on Thursday. We'll see. But I'm eventually going to get back. Oh, and then on Wednesday, I'm going to have to do my Wednesday with Will because I haven't wrapped up. I haven't done anything about Henry IV Part 1 yet. But I've read it and I've seen an adaptation, so I'm just going to do it all in one video. So anyway, I'm slowly getting back into normal posting. And I'm just tired. I'm going to go to bed. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Thanks. Thank you for hanging in. I'll see you in my next video, hopefully like not looking like death warmed over.